morning, you guys. Good morning, happy people.
Good morning, Heather and Crystal and Lachelle. I love that name.
Lachelle, yeah.
And Stephanie and Seth. Seth Likens. Sup? Okay, Teresa,
Is
Mona.
that a homie from your snowboarding days?
I feel like that name is from high school. Forgive me if I'm forgetting. I don't know. Jeanette.
Panise. It's been a minute, girl.
Tiffany, what's up? Stacy in the house. Brittany Burns in the house. June Ellen in the house. Good morning, good morning, good morning. And another Brittany. And Andrea. Wow, look at all you guys. That's amazing.
I love it.
Happy Monday.
Happy Monday. So, full transparency. We are a little bit delirious today. Okay? We're delirious because we've been working on something incredibly amazing for each and every one of you guys. And it's coming at you tomorrow. So you better check it out and be there.
Who knows what it is? Test question.
Live webinar tomorrow about the 3 steps to stop yo-yo dieting forever, for good, no more of that shit. Okay, so the webinar is going to be live tomorrow. We've been working really hard on it because we're going to share with you our own personal stories. Like, you're going to see some photos that you're going to be like, whoa. I can't
just show up for the photos. It's amazing.
Yeah. And we're really going to teach you step by step how we were able to overcome it and how you can too. You know, something we always say is if we can, so can you. But
I want to tell them what our night was like.
Yeah, go for it.
So our bedtime is like 8 p.m. Holla. Normally. As of recent, it's been later than that because we're on a mission. We tell you guys all the time we're on a mission. And because we want to give you as much as we can for this webinar and we want to set you up for success, we were up. Okay, I don't remember the last time I was up this late, actually. I honestly, it's been probably over 8 years since I was up this late.
Nope, that's not true. When we met, you were up later.
Oh, oops. That's very true. However, we were up until midnight last night, which to us...
midnight.
Oh, true. It was like 12:15. But to us, that's like, holy shit. So, if you registered, show up. And if you haven't registered yet,
then you're gonna miss out if you don't, because this is seriously amazing, and it's for you to take advantage of. So please do it if you haven't already. Tammy, if you're here, please drop the link, or if any of you guys can drop the link, we'll be forever grateful. ImproveYouSolutions.com/webinar. ImproveYouSolutions.com/webinar. So
it's gonna be a fun time. You know how we roll.
By the way, comment yes if you're planning on attending. I'd love to see who's coming, so we can be sure to recognize you guys. But other than that, today we're going to be talking about increasing your standards. Okay, so when you increase your standards, that's how you know that you've reached a new height. Right? But increasing your standards has to come first. Everybody wants to get better, but the reality is that in order for you to get better, you have to increase your standards first. But the question is, how do you increase your standards?
There's 2 types of people in this world. There's reachers and there are settlers. And reachers are continuously increasing the standard per prior experience. Always getting better, always improving, because the standard keeps getting higher. And this is why we say too, the pot of gold at the end of the rainbow is never reached. The destination is not a destination. It is the journey. And when you reach, what you find will be a destination. Oops, it changes, and now you're not at your destination anymore, right? There's milestones, there's checkpoints, that's great, but there's reachers and there's settlers. Which one you want to be?
Amen.
And this goes with relationships too. Dang, we could talk about this for a long time.
Yeah.
Did you reach or did you settle?
Ooh.
Uh-oh.
How you do anything is how you do everything. Anyways.
One of us is a reacher, one of us is a settler, no? I don't think so.
Definitely not.
I
I
think
had
we're
to
both reachers.
I had to reach all the way to Miami in order to grab you.
Hey, so did I, and I traveled further.
True, you did. Whatever. Do you know that the weekend after we met, I flew across the country to go see her?
That's true.
I barely even knew her.
That's true. Lesbian!
No, crazy. But you know I'm
exactly
crazy.
what I said. Lesbian!
Shut up. Okay.
Oh my gosh.
Hey, full disclaimer, I would have not done it for other girls because I did it. But regardless of what your preference is, it doesn't matter. We're glad that you're here today. So let's talk about how to increase your standards. So for one, you know, like we said, hitting new standards is the process, right? Like, that being said, you have to reach to a new height. Now, what does reaching a new height means?
And how far do you reach?
Right. So like I'm going to give you an example from one of our dear students, and she's in the room, Andrea Ramos.
Andrea!
Huge shout out to you, girl. I hope you had an amazing weekend. So, you know, when
I can see her right now. She's like, thanks, coach.
So when Andrew started working with us, right? Like, you know, like you have to understand how bad your bad is, right?
True.
You know, not to make anybody feel bad, just because you want to assess the situation, right? It's like if you play poker. I don't know how to play poker, but I've watched it in movies. Right? Like, you want to put all of the cards out on the table. Like, this is what's happening here and here and here and here and here.
She clearly doesn't know poker.
So for...
That is not how you want to play poker. Show everybody your cards!
I think I was just thinking like a card game with a green table. I'm just thinking Vegas and cards. Anyways... I don't gamble. I don't like to take risks in things that are not guaranteed for me. But anyways, so you know, when Andrea started working with us, she didn't even drink any water, like whatsoever. And now Andrea's at a point where she drinks 10 cups or more of water per day.
Girl.
And that's over the span of what, like 6 weeks or so. So, like, for example, Andrea's standard has increased with regards for water, right? Before, her standard was little to no water. The reality is that she had no idea how little water she drank, right? Because she was just unaware, right? Like, you don't know what you don't know. But now, her new standard is 10 glasses of water. I'm gonna take, I see that Crystal Catalina's in the house.
Can I ask a question?
Yeah.
Did she go from 0 to 10?
No, she did not. And that's what I'm saying. It's in 6 weeks. She earned it. So like she kept on climbing and reaching new heights, right? And 10 glasses of water is not where she wants to be either. So 6 weeks from now, it's gonna be different, right? So like, I'm gonna give you another standard that Andrea had. When she started working with us, she was eating like 16 tortillas per week, right? And now we're down to 10.
That's
so her standard keeps on increasing, right? But that's through consistency
and progression,
right?
You have to earn the next step too. You have to earn your reach.
Yeah.
You have to earn your reach. If you want to reach to the top of the stairs, you got to reach for the first step.
Yeah.
She said probably more. That's how you read Jaja.
Yeah, you know, you guys, knowing how bad your bad is something that's super powerful. That will liberate you. But normally, knowing how bad your bad is not something that you will want to take upon yourself, right? To measure, right? So you end up either not knowing or being completely blind to it, right? And that's why a lot of people say, I don't know why I look this way. I eat healthy. I'm like, you're just unaware of what's happening. And there's nothing wrong with that. Normally it takes somebody else to like get into the situation and kind of like dissect it, right? Just like a surgeon, right? When something is wrong, let's say your hip's messed up and you need a hip replacement, right? Like a surgeon needs to go in there, like dissect the situation,
assess the situation,
right? Like put in a new little something, and
dissect
now you
your
reached
hip.
a new height, right? So reaching a new height is a process. Nobody likes to hear about a process. Everybody wants to hear about how can I raise my standards? You got to raise your standards by getting through the process. And it's called consistency. Go ahead.
Yeah, so I think that the misstep that we often take is we try to, start incorporating these things without even understanding where we're starting, where we're coming from. Where is the beginning point? If you're going to go through a maze, you don't even know where the fucking start is. How are you supposed to get through it? Right? So I think that oftentimes the misstep in this is not even assessing.
Mm-hmm. Or not even knowing. I want to give a huge shout out to another one of our inner circles. And I saw that she's in the room, Nicole Conti. I'll never forget the first conversation we had. You were in the maze literally just going like this. Right? And I told you, I'm like, I can't wait to free you. Right? Because, here's the thing, you guys. You're here.
Show them. He's snoring so loud back here.
Yeah, Boogie's tired too because he doesn't sleep unless we do.
Little guy, Mr. Piggy.
Yeah.
I had a pit bull and I called her Mrs. Piggy.
But like, here's the thing. So you're here, right? And there is information that's flowing at you everywhere, all throughout the day. Right. And unless you put, it's like, what is that suit that the people who work with bees put on?
Hazmat? Is that what it's called? I really have no idea. I just feel like that's the right word.
Let's call it a hazmat.
Okay.
I like it. So unless you put a hazmat on you,
unless you put a who has my hat
right?
on you.
Like you are going to absorb all of it because your brain is like a sponge. Okay. Do this, don't do that. Do this, don't do that. The bees just keep stinging you, right? Unless you put a hazmat on, right?
Hopefully that's what it's called.
If not, please tell us what it is.
Yeah. We're just looking like fools over here.
So now
it's a whatchamacallit.
So now what is your hazmat? Your hazmat is the environment in which you insert yourself in, right? So you what? So you
just listen to the sound of Boogie.
Yeah, I hear it all the time.
Oh, he was snoring so loud I wanted you guys to hear, and then of course he stops. Okay, I'm so sorry.
Yeah, my train of thought is
I stopped the tutu.
Yeah.
Oopsie.
So your hazmat is your environment. You have to put that hazmat on you, which means that you have to put yourself in the right environment. And that is step number 2. Okay? So, like, you have to reach a new height through consistency, okay? But that will be very difficult, if maybe even impossible, unless you put the hazmat on. Because imagine, let's say, if
it totally is.
Oh, great. Like, imagine if you're in a beehive, right?
You're inside a beehive.
With no hazmat. And I'm like, okay, I want you to walk. What?
Who's going to be in a beehive except for a bee?
How do you call, like, I'm just thinking a maze full of bees.
Let's call it the bee forest.
Bee forest, yes, thank you.
Clearly, we're not beekeepers.
And I don't play poker. So So imagine if I told you, okay, in the bee forest, I see Karen Shear just popped in the house.
Hi,
so I'm gonna
Karen.
Say hi to Karen. So Karen, imagine if I told you, okay, I want you to walk 100 feet in this bee forest. Like, Karen will probably tell me I'm done with it, right? Unless she has a hazmat on.
Some people
Right,
still wouldn't. I want to give a shout out to Joyce. It's been a while, girl.
Yeah,
It's been a minute. Where you been?
Yeah. So here's the thing. You gotta put yourself in the right environment. You gotta insert yourself from the right environment, because otherwise bees are gonna sting you. You're gonna get stung. You're not gonna get anywhere. That's just the fact, right? But when you're in the right environment, you get shielded. Okay, so now you can start taking a step forward. Don't think about 100 feet. Think about the first foot first. Just like with Andrea, right? Now she's at 10 glasses of water. Guess what?
What was her first step? She went from 4 cups to what?
To 5.
It doesn't have to be complicated, y'all.
No.
It doesn't have to be
Show me
complicated.
consistency with 5, so then you can graduate to 6.
Doesn't
But
have
how
to be
many people go from all the things to none of the things?
Or
in a
from
matter
none of the things to all of the things.
Yeah. It's not, so you don't learn to reach a new standard in this way of thinking, right? Because you have to earn a new standard, right? A new standard of living, right? And the same goes with your body, right? So I'm going to give you an example. For somebody who is extremely overweight, right? Their standard might be to not rely on medication anymore. For somebody who's more intermediate is, I want to have defined abs. For somebody who is advanced, it could be, I want to have a 6-pack, right? It's a new standard. But you have to be at a certain step in order to see what that standard is.
And the standard has to match the action.
Mm-hmm.
So, or the action taken to meet the standard needs to align. So if, let's say, can you pet him or something? He's making me crazy with his snoring right now. So you have to, if you think, okay, I normally eat McDonald's 3 times a week. When we embark on this journey we call weight loss or self-love or whatever you want to call it, body transformation, it's all the same. We think that everything needs to go or everything needs to be added. So if I'm used to eating 2 cheeseburgers from McDonald's with a large fry and a Diet Coke, because I don't want the calories, 3 times a week, and then I eat Oreos every night, and then I expect myself to be able to not eat any McDonald's or Oreos. Or, in Andrea's case, if you're not familiar with how to consume the amount of water being asked, how are you going to consume that much more? How many times the amount? 3 times.
Right now she's consuming 2.5 times the amount.
2.5 times the amount overnight.
Right.
But all of this starts by, now, okay, let's go over this too. You could raise your standard ridiculously high, but I think that where we fall short is that we raise the standard high, which is amazing, and you should. However, the action taken cannot start at that standard. Mm-hmm. It has to start where you are and make its way towards.
Yes.
So we try to go boom, and then we go poof. And then we try to go ah, and we go boom. And then it's this, and you're so familiar with that already. We don't need to explain it anymore.
Yeah. Yeah.
Which is why we're doing the webinar on it.
Right. So look, in the webinar, we're going to go into way more detail with regards to all of this. But really, Remember those two things. When it comes to reaching new heights, you got to set yourself in the right environment. Okay, this is your hazmat, so you can actually get through the first foot of the bee forest, right? Once you're through your first foot, then look, you got to get to the second one, right? However, when you are taking action, right, when you're stepping forward, your standard is now increasing because you're one step ahead, right? However, the concept of changing your standard happens here, okay? But the way that it really happens in your life is through the process. You have to get through the process, right? Because otherwise, you're gonna have this idea in your head, right? But it's always gonna be this far away, right? You wanna approach it closer and closer, and that requires a level of activity. Continuous, increased level of activity. And that's why, for starters, you're not gonna have the same level of activity as an advanced person. And the reason is because your threshold is a lot lower. And I don't care how motivated or disciplined you are, and you can challenge me for as long as you want, right? If you're a beginner, you just don't have enough energy and what it takes in this given moment to execute more with regards to the journey, because you just haven't mastered the skills yet. This is a byproduct of a lot of skills earned, right? So you gotta give yourself the time. You gotta focus on being good at one small thing, right? Basically dissect the situation and then take a step forward and take a step forward and take a step forward. And that's why we always say it's a journey. Don't try to fix a problem that you created over 20 years in 20 days. That's unrealistic. And that will never help you to increase your standards. That can help you to increase only one element within your standards, but it does not help you to increase your standards. And the same goes for your relationships. My standards for the girls I was seeking was way lower before I transformed my body, because I didn't think I was capable of, right? And the same goes with money. When we started our business, our standards were way lower than they are now. Well, your standards are a byproduct of where you are right now and where you want to be. And that's why it's always a moving target. Always a moving target.
I'm going to read this. This is incredible.
Okay,
Lachelle, I'm going to read your long-ass comment. Okay, so probably for a whole nother day. This is something that's really important to talk about. My sister had gastric bypass surgery. She lost 150 pounds, which is amazing. We're stoked for her, but the process has boosted her head size by 3 times. So her ego now seems very large. She's getting a boob job and a tummy tuck tomorrow, which again, I'm so happy for her. However, I'm terrified of what this will do to her ego even more. I only read that far when I first thought about, it is not about the weight that you lose, but who you become in the process. If you are not happy, you're not happy. And you're continuously going to be trying to find shit from the outside to make you happy. That's why we talk about mindset so much, is because it has to come from here. Gosh. You cannot get a boob job and then be happy. She's not gonna be happy.
No, she's then gonna go for a nose job.
There's always something else. Oh, I gotta reach for, and then it's like you fuck your shit up because you're always reaching for these external things, thinking that they're gonna bring you. Oh, I'll be happy when. I'll be happy when. I'll be happy when. You gotta figure out how to be happy, and that happiness will make you behave differently. And when you behave differently, you transform. Ta-da!
Being happy is a byproduct of feeling accomplished. Feeling accomplished is a byproduct of doing something that you told yourself you were going to do. And that's why anybody who has ever talked to me about, Sarit, I want a tummy tuck, I said no.
You gotta earn it.
Never. Because you have to earn it. If you don't earn it, it's only a matter of time, Lachelle. And you probably, now that you're in the program, you have a new lens, so you see it differently. 5 years from now, she's gonna be 50 surgeries in, just like Michael Jackson. Started with 1, ended up having 100. right? 50 surgeries in incredible debt, extremely unhappy and overweight.
I mean, we can't say all those absolutes.
We
because we don't know her life.
We can't.
However,
but this is me studying trends and assuming that this is what's going to happen, right? Like, you have to earn it. If you don't earn it, it will be taken away from you.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, you can't base how happy you are on anything that can be taken away from you at any moment.
Yeah.
Which is even you. The only thing that will make you happy comes from inside you. Zero things external. Not a car, not a house, not a family, not a relationship, not a new pair of shoes, nothing. Zero. Not a lot of money, none of it. Not a banging body. Great, cool. A lot of people have really fit looking bodies who hate themselves.
Right.
So it's not about that. It's great from a health standpoint before she gets the boob job, because I would not argue that that's a healthy thing. However, we all have our things that we do, right? But yeah, anyways, that's my 2 cents on there. You know what, Lachelle, you don't have to be around her. You don't choose your family, but you can choose how you edit those relationships.
Amen to that.
And you know what, like, maybe that will sound harsh for some people, but if there's people in your environment that are making you feel a negative way that isn't moving you forward, then the way that you make them feel probably isn't moving them forward either. You don't really need to spend a lot of time together. Mm-hmm. It's not going to help either of you.
Yep. And it's definitely not going to help you. So, look, like we said, today we scratched.
If you wear a hazmat suit too, they might just think you're weird and stop hanging around you. So that is a technique you could use so that you're not hurting anybody's feelings. If
you want to increase your standards, then you have to sign up for the webinar if you haven't already. ImproveYouSolutions.com/webinar. Okay, we're going to teach you how to increase your standards. Okay, so that you can finally, feel accomplished, earn, and fully fulfilled with what you've done for your body and the life that you're living. Your body is literally a vehicle for the rest of your life, and that's why everybody wants to change it, because they think that when they will have a better body, then it's true. Your body is a vehicle, and you have to be comfortable with it, right? But you have to clean up the vehicle in order to make it work.
And I'm going to ask you a question, and I don't need a response because I'm not fishing for a compliment. So don't respond to this, but do you find us inspiring? And if you said yes, I want you to know we are normal people.
Just like you.
There is nothing so extraordinary about the way that we were born that caused us to do what we're doing. Because we've achieved, because we have struggled, because we have had adversities, because we have had pain in our lives, because everything that every single person experiences, the only difference is we're doing something to move forward with it and to move other people forward with us because of it. That's the only difference. Everybody's a genius in their own way. And when you find that way, run with it. Run with it and make a difference, but you have to make a difference in yourself before you can make a difference in anybody else. And the reason that we have the ability to be inspiring or motivational or encouraging or whatever is because we have achieved, not because we had a surgery to get us anywhere, not because we had any kind of shortcuts or easy road. When you take the rocky fucking road and you make it to the top, which doesn't exist for somebody who wants to keep reaching, you are inspired by yourself. Mm-hmm. And when you are inspired by yourself, the level of confidence that you have can never be taken from you.
Amen. So if you haven't already, remember, sign up for the webinar, improviesolutions.com/webinar. Also, if you, whoever that you know, it's not a matter of if actually, it's a matter of whoever that you know that will benefit from them, do us a favor, reach out to them today and tell them, look, there's something amazing that you have to listen to. It's completely free, okay? All you gotta do is you need to give yourself the chance to just listen and learn. That's it. We're on a mission. We are already making an impact, right? We just want to make a bigger impact on more people because we know that our message and our method is so different. And anybody who is experiencing it right now will say, hell yeah or amen.
They told us you cracked the code. You have cracked the code.
Yeah.
It's not a code. It is a code. It is a code, but it's simple.
It's
So
simple.
Can nobody take my pride? Can nobody hold me down? Oh no, I got to keep on moving.
All right, you guys, on that note, have yourselves an amazing day and a happy Monday and an amazing week. And we will catch you tomorrow, 6:30.
Bye.